I've been trying to start this video for the last 15 minutes and I'm not lying. Am I lying?
No. So we appreciate the support that we've been getting, and we actually get a lot of comments about this, so we decided why not do a video on it. And today we are going to talk about how much it costs to start our retail store and all the financial stuff that comes with that.
So these are our initial opening costs. This does not include our lease or our operating expenses. That's a whole other thing, and this is what works for us. Our price may be a lot different than yours. It may be higher, it may be lower. It just really depends on, your location, your size, your starting inventory. So we're going to give you the step-by-step guide that really took us from zero to where we are now. And it's nice to actually have someone, like we're actually doing it every day. We're not just reading things online and then spewing them back to you. This is our lifestyle. This is literally how we make a living. And we're going to give you the actual financial details that it took to get here. So if you like this video, guys, and support this channel and this small business, please hit the like button. It really helps. And if you're interested in personal finance, please hit the subscribe button down below. Let's get into this one.
So for everything inside the unit, we pretty much had to do everything from electrical to flooring. We didn't have to do the drywall or the bathroom, but everything else was something that we had to invest into to make it what it is today.
Basically, we built it literally from the ground up. It was an empty room with nothing in it before we got in. So that will affect your costs. Obviously, if you can find a space that's already done, there was a previous store or a previous restaurant, whatever you're opening, that's probably going to be a lot cheaper, but the rent will be higher. You want to explain that? By the way, welcome to our this is our home office. Actually, we got a ring light, cameras on a candle, Felicia's new picture right there.
Yeah, we're on our couch, actually. So.
Yeah, the home office isn't ready. I showed you that in a previous video, but yeah, we're getting there. Everything's a long process around here. Wait. We're gonna bring you to the store, obviously, in this video and show you all around. This is a preliminary thing. I need to get out of this house because I'm getting very
That's fine.
Stir crazy?
Yeah, we'll go in a minute. Stir crazy.
Stir crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, what Ray means when he says if there's a finished empty unit, the landlord will charge more. That means that a landlord has a unit that has like tile, walls, electrical, and you basically don't have to do too much to it. So they'll take that as an advantage for themselves.
It's done.
And, charge you more in rent. Whereas if you rent a unit that's not finished, you're going to actually have to put in money anyways to fix it. And that's why the rent will be a little bit lower.
You're fixing it for the landlord. I mean, you're investing into his property. It doesn't mean you're going to be there forever. So he can re-rent it to someone who's interested, right? It's value for him. It's money out of your pocket.
It's basically a huge favor for your landlord once you leave. Yeah. And it works out for him, obviously, or her, sorry. Well,
was that a little bit of sexism?
No.
Landlady?
I meant him or her, so landlord, landlady.
It's not sexist.
A landlord can be used as male or female.
Okay, that's great. Did you want to tell them now or later the final cost of what we spent our money on to open?
Maybe in a little bit. Not at the end, not in the middle, but a little bit later.
Okay.
So in between.
Are we going to the store now?
We're going to the store.
Okay. I really need to get out of here. Alright, so after a long day of inventory, Felicia's going to be putting away all the stuff we just got in. Technically, on our day off on Monday, we come in, do a walkthrough, just see what we need for the week, restock on a bunch of things, and keep going. Just know that when you open your store, it will be 7 days a week. For the first little while anyways, and then hopefully you can get some good people that can man the store or woman the store for you. So everything you're going to see in this video is everything we spent our money on, except there's quite a bit more that we added over the last 2.5 years. So there's always going to be constant reinvestment that you need to do. So the initial price point does not include about most of what you see here. Just the bare bones alone, the tiles, the paint, the electrical, and everything else is what we're going to get into. The POS system, all the tables and some of the bunks here that we started with. That's exactly what I mean by initial investment to open the store. The signage, just those main things that you'll need to open your store, just to get an idea on how much it costs to open any small business in a brick and mortar location. Give you a quick update here. Felicia is moving everything from this cooler over to this cooler. This was basically all dairy, and this was all prep meals. We walked in, thank God, and this thing was screeching, like unbelievably loud. And
like it sounded like there was like cats dying.
So I turned it off, and the compressor is really, really hot. I don't want to take any chances, so we're gonna have to get rid of this. And just to show you the ongoing investment it takes to run a brick and mortar. Yeah, so we didn't lose any product because we caught it. But you know, if this was overnight, this cooler wasn't cooling anymore, this would be an issue, and we have to throw out the majority of the things in this cooler because you know, you can't have milk at 65 degrees. So this stuff's all going here. Felicia has a nice idea. You want to just show them?
Yeah, so essentially these shelves fit in here, so I'm gonna like space them less out.
There's a lot of space in between,
yeah.
So
like these cheeses,
it'll be like
will be able to stand up in here.
Yeah, like a quick vending machine grab. More organized. I like that. This is kind of all jumbled up.
I mean, it sucks that we have to spend more money, but
this is the reality around here. Okay, so let's I'm gonna pull up my initial bills that I had saved here. I'm gonna just reference this. So the initial cost to open this store completely with our starting inventory and everything was $74,568, and that's an estimate that I made after, because we started making these videos a little later after our opening. So yeah, and you know, this money wasn't you know, I didn't win at gambling. I didn't most of it was earned. Some of it was a you know, a bank loan that we used. So how long does it take to get your money back is a question that everybody asks, but we're on the right track here. I'd say we're very profitable after 2 years, so I'm not complaining about that. Just have a general idea that this space is 1,600 square feet, and even with that amount of money, we opened very, very bare bones. Like the stuff you see behind me was not here. It was just a bunch of tables with some produce, maybe 2 coolers. We added another 3. Well, now we're down 1, so that's great. But a lot of the investment that we made, a lot of the profit we made, went right back into this store to buy more product, to buy more coolers, to upgrade equipment, you know, to expand our inventory, to add, you know, a bakery line. So just know that your initial investment doesn't stop. You know, that's the start, and then it's a lifelong cycle of reinvesting and building and having something that is bigger and better each day. If I had to do it all over again, I would probably hope to start with a, you know, a bigger initial investment, because the issue with, you know, a store like this is you need to make it full. You need to make it worth it for your customer. So when a lot of people came in, you know, the first weekend or the first week, because the novelty was there was a lot of hype around this store, we did not have much, and that's kind of the silent killer in retail. If people come in and they feel you don't have nothing, it's not worth their time, they will never be back. You know, they won't tell you, you know, hey, you didn't have this, this, and this, so I'm not coming back. They'll just kind of look around and walk out, and you'll never see that customer again. You really need to make your store worthwhile for people's time. They have to open your door knowing that you at least have most of the products they want, right? Or else, why not just go to another store and get it all done there? So it's a very, very give and take on how much you can start with and how much you should start with, because you know, you really need to make good first impressions in that honeymoon period when you open your store. Alicia is currently working her magic on this fridge. This 2-door fridge is going to be a 3-door. Next video you see, I'm going to have a fridge right here along this way. We really have no choice in this matter. We need another fridge, but this is a temporary fix, and you know, hopefully it works. Well, I'll let you know in a minute. So that $75,000 initial investment does not include, you know, my lease or hydro. That's our biggest operating expenses here. Between the lease being $3,000 a month and the hydro being around $500 to $600 to operate all these wonderful coolers here, That's our biggest operating expenses. That's not in your initial investment. Your initial investment is what it costs to fit out the store the way you need it. Full disclosure of what cost $75,000 to open up a retail store in 2020. Electrical, by far the biggest expense. This was all of our lighting, all of the outlets, all the wiring for the coolers, came to $25,000. I did not know it would cost this much. It's our first business, so that was a lot more than I needed or wanted. Keep cutting in and out. It's Felicia panicking. She probably needs help with the shelf, or got her hand stuck somewhere in the cooler, so I keep jumping in and out of these. But speaking of coolers, the 3 coolers that we initially started with, they were all used. We're having issues with them now, and they cost $1,000 a piece, so we have 1 left. I already replaced 1 and we're replacing another one. So sometimes you really get what you pay for, so just learn that lesson in this video through me. I advise to use these videos as a precautionary so you don't make the same mistakes I did. Okay, so the signage, very cheap, $500. We really need an upgrade on that right now, and we're in a position to do so. So yeah, that was $500. It was cheap, it was done, it did the job. Shelving that you've seen throughout the videos came to around $5,000. These are all custom made shelves with a food grade approved wood that we had to use. I think there was about 7 bunks that were built custom with shelving, so that came to $5,000. Another really big expense that I almost forgot was our walk-in cooler. This is a necessity if you're dealing with perishables. You need storage. $10,000 for that. Oh, wow, that was painful that day when I learned the quote on that. So all the duct work for the heating and cooling and everything else, that came to about $4,500 to get the equipment and that installed. That wasn't bad. I expected that one. Starting inventory was only $6,000. We started with just produce, basically some dairy, very, very low inventory. I highly suggest, if you have the money to spare, spend it on inventory. This is what makes you money. This is what keeps customers coming back. I really promise you, this is probably your best investment for your store. You're here to sell, you're here to make money. Spend it on things that will make you more money. Invest in inventory. Don't make the same mistake I did. A lot of people never returned because we looked like we had nothing in the store. Again, we made mistakes. We fix them, we move on. But if you can learn again from this video, start with a lot of inventory if you can. I was strapped. I couldn't, nor did I even think I needed to. So I learned that the hard way. Painting, we basically did a lot of it ourselves. That came to around $2,500. The roof we got sprayed professionally, so that was another expense on top of that. So let's say a total of $3,000 for that. Not bad. I expected that. It was quite a bit to actually paint everything when it came down to it. And the point of sale system we use is ShopKeep. We spent about $1,000 on the initial equipment. That's the printer, the iPad required, and the cash drawer and a scanner was about $1,000. We bought some of it used, and it's doing great. I couldn't complain about that. So that was another $1,000, and I think that just about covers it. That's probably around $75 now, I'd say. There's a lot of miscellaneous costs that, knives, cutting boards, things like that. I mean, I'm sure there's a door or two that we had to pay for in there. It's around $75. Mind you, this space is 1,600 square feet. There was nothing in here beforehand, so maybe you'll spend $500,000 outfitting your business, whether it be a cafe, restaurant, grocery store like us, convenience store, or maybe you'll spend $10,000 outfitting it, and your rent will be higher. It really depends on a lot of different factors. I'm just telling you my experience. I know people are going to comment, you could have got this for cheaper, you could have got that for cheaper, but trust me, I negotiated a lot. I got a lot of different quotes from people for work, and this is what we ended up opening with. I'd say we got most of our money back by now already, and we take a small salary. There's really nothing to complain about. besides, you know, the constant work and things that need to be repaired around here. So that comes with owning your own business. Just know that it's not a walk in the park. Yeah, that's about it. We got a lot of work still ahead of us tonight. It's, what time is it? It's currently 8 o'clock. Yeah, we got another 2 hours here, and it's supposed to be a day off. Just know that being your own boss, it's nice to have something break down or something happen and just direct it to your boss. When you're your own boss, there's no one else to look at. You gotta fix it. So that's one of the biggest downfalls of owning your own small business, like you saw tonight. Okay, that's about it, guys. If you've been here for the rest for this whole video, I suggest you subscribe. We're going to be doing this for a long time, and we have a lot of other investments we're about to start making. Stay tuned, and we love you. Hope you have a great night.
We are finally on our way home after a long night of fixing the cooler situation. It is now midnight, so it took us about 6 hours for a lot of reasons. Our old cooler shelves didn't exactly fit perfectly, so we had to like hammer them in and yada yada yada, fit everything in there. Doesn't really end, but I do feel good about it because I know if we walked in tomorrow when we open, like, it would be just a disaster trying to do things while customers are there. So I'm just glad we got it out of the way, even though it took forever. So hopefully we'll have our new cooler this week, hopefully, if they have something in.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm really pissed, so good night.